So before Sonocent, the main issue that students were facing was that they were dependent on someone else taking their notes. And sometimes that's not that great because that other person may be taking notes for themselves and what they believe it's important, but not what the other person may need. And so it was back and forth of there's information that's lacking, there was information on the exam that was not on the notes. And so it was back to this note-taking, peer note-taking was just not the greatest thing for them. So as administrators here in Jacksonville University, the main issue for us was that students were complaining that they weren't getting their notes on time, that the notes were not complete, that the notes that they were getting were more gibberish than anything else, that they couldn't read what the student had, written on their paper, and if they were by computer, that they would take a week or two to get them the notes. And so again, it's a student depending on another student's will, and other students, being healthy or not to be going into class, because one of the students will be sick and then they wouldn't tell anyone, and so the student will not have notes for that class. Then they would come back to us and say, the student wasn't in the class, now what do I do? And so we would have to go back to the professor and figure out someone who had taken notes. So it just made a very convoluted, problem out of just a simple peer note taker. So how Sonocent has resolved those issues for the students and for us as professionals and professors, it has been ideal. Actually, our students are very happy about the fact that it's on them. It's their own responsibility, which is something that I actually mark on them, that from now on, you're not depending on someone else, this is you alone. And so you shouldn't be coming back to me and saying, I don't have the notes for the class or for the exam or whatnot. So it's putting back the responsibility on the student, giving them the power to have more tools to study the way they want to study, and to, at the end of the day, repeat that recording as many times as they need until, the concepts are grasped. Okay. So the training with Sonocent for us as a school and for me as a professional has been amazing. I have gone through several people and they have all been outstanding. Any question that I have, I can just email them and they will just call me back right away and see, what the best way to resolve that issue is, whether it's with a one-on-one, whether it's with a video, whether it's with just some links that, for the program. At the end of the day, they will just work with you 100%, no questions asked. So the idea at JU to actually expand the program Sonocent to a wider population, we're starting little by little, and so that's why we just jumped in with athletics, and so that they can start piloting with their own students, especially the ones who travel, to see how this could improve not just their grades, but their whole studying skills when it comes to, when you're traveling, some things they get notes from someone, they may get just the PowerPoints, but the idea with doing this is that they get the whole class while they're not on campus actually. So we're starting there and hopefully we'll move forward from there.